Imagine a 12-year-old football wonder kid. They've got all the gear and they've got a trophy room that's already full. But by age 16, they're burnt out, injured, and they never want to see a football again. Why? Because as a culture, we're obsessed with peaking by the weekend. We treat youth sports like it's a sprint, but elite performance is actually a 10+ year marathon. If you're a coach, a parent, or an athlete, you need to understand the long-term athletic development model, the Anti-Burnout Blueprint. It's the difference between a flash in the pan and a career champion. Today, we're breaking down the roadmap from the playground to the podium. So what's the point? Why can't we just pick the best kids and train them like pros right now? First, the 10-year rule. Mastery takes roughly 8 to 12 years of deliberate practice. You can't hack biology. Second, we're facing a secular decline. Since 1981, kids in developed countries have seen a substantial annual drop in aerobic fitness. We aren't starting from the same baseline that generations previous did. The long-term athletic development model moves us away from talent identification, which usually just means picking the biggest, strongest, fastest kid in the room, and moves us toward talent preservation. We stop looking at the birth certificate and start looking at the internal biological clock. We want to optimise the body when it's actually ready to change, not just because it's season time. Stage 1 is the fundamental stage. Emphasis on fun. This is usually around ages 6 to 9. The goal here is simple. It's physical literacy. Think of it like learning the alphabet before you try to write a novel. We focus on the ABCs, agility, balance and coordination at this stage. At this age, a kid's brain is like wet cement and we want to mould it. We use deliberate play, which looks like tag games, tumbling, obstacle courses. This all helps to wire the nervous system. If you want a great basketball player, don't just put them on a court at age 7. Put them in gymnastics or martial arts. The balance, body awareness and footwork they learn will make them unguardable on the court 10 years later. 2-time Olympic gold medal winning boxer Vasily Lomachenko famously went through years of dance classes as a child. This helped him become a pound-for-pound great and is widely regarded as having some of the best footwork and balance of any boxer to ever step in the ring. Ages 9 to 12 is the golden age of motor coordination. This is where we introduce the 5 S's: stamina, strength, speed, skill, and suppleness. To develop stamina, we want to build the engine through games. When it comes to strength, we're not necessarily lifting heavy weights yet. We want body weight mastery and possibly some medicine ball exercises. For speed, we want short, quick hit agility drills, under 5 seconds to exploit that fast twitch nervous system. For skill, we're looking to learn the actual mechanics of the sport that they're trying to do. And for suppleness, we want to keep those joints mobile as they move in to puberty. Think of, say, a young tennis player. This isn't the stage where they need a 100-mile-per-hour serve. It's the stage where they need to learn proper footwork. If they don't get the coordination right now, they'll reach a technical ceiling later that no amount of extra practice can fix. Now, stage 3 is where we are training to train. This is the most critical window in the whole roadmap. It's triggered by something called peak height velocity, which is the child's major growth spurt. Suddenly, your athlete grows 3 inches in a summer. Their bones grow faster than their tendons, making them tight and frankly a bit clumsy. which is what we call adolescent awkwardness. The engine. We prioritise the aerobic base right at the start of peak height velocity. This is when the heart and lungs are most ready to expand. Flexibility. This is non-negotiable here to prevent injuries such as Osgood Schlatter. Strength. We wait for the hormone surge. For boys, that's usually 12 to 18 months after the growth spurt, and for girls, there's a massive window right at the onset of menarche. If you miss this window, you're trying to build a Ferrari engine in a Honda chassis later in life. It just doesn't work as well. Stage 4 is where we are training to compete. Now we're in the late teens, the body is mature, and the focus shifts to competition modelling. We aren't just practicing skills, we're practicing under fire. We simulate the noise, the pressure, and the fatigue of the final 2 minutes of a game. Look at that 1-to-1 ratio. At this stage, you need an hour of deliberate, technical fix-it training for every hour you spend in a game. This is where many college athletes fail. They compete so much that their technique starts to erode, and they never spend the 50% of the time needed to pull the film apart and fix the mechanics. You have to stay a student of the game here. In stage 5, we are training to win. This is the summit, the pro level. It's about peak performance. Notice the ratio flips to 1-to-3. At the elite level, the work is the competition. Because the physical demand is so high, coaches have to be obsessed with holistic well-being. We're looking for marginal gains. This is the Tour de France approach. If we can make the sleep 1% better, the nutrition 1% better, and the psychological recovery 1% better, we win. It's no longer about getting fit, it's about staying sharp. Now finally, let's talk about the glue, resistance training. It's an old myth that lifting weights stunts growth, makes you slow. The science says the exact opposite. Resistance training is injury insurance. We use free weights because they have degrees of freedom. A machine moves in one line. A barbell requires you to stabilise your core, your hips, and your shoulders simultaneously. It builds demand tolerance, making the body robust enough to handle a 90-minute game and all the training that goes with it. It builds bone density, which is a gift that keeps on giving even after the athlete retires. If you aren't lifting, you aren't developing. You're just waiting for an injury to happen. The ultimate goal of long-term athletic development isn't necessarily just to put a medal around someone's neck, although it'll help with that as well. It's to ensure that when the athlete is 40, 50, 60, they're still active for life. A champion's roadmap isn't just about the podium, it's about a sustainable life in and out of sport. Stop training for the weekend and start training for the decade. If this helps you understand the game a bit better, hit the like button and subscribe. Let's build better athletes together. See you next time.